Om Namah Shivaya. I am Professor rudramohapatra from Bhubaneswar, Odisha. I am an astrologer and astro researcher. Today we will discuss about another book of Hindu astrology, that is Bhabvartha Ratnakara. Bhavartha Ratnakara. Bhavartha Ratnakara. The gems of the Bhavartha. I normally review the books in their English translation. Normally means most of the time. My review on Uttara had got Purva review to some extent, which was Hindi, but mostly English review I do. Bhavartha Ratnakara is said to be written by Ramanuja Acharya. I'm not talking of Ramanujan, the great mathematician. I wish, but no, he died early, Ramanujan. But I'm talking of Ramanuja Acharya, who was a propagator of Dvaitya Vedanta, Visishta Dvaitya, mostly. It is believed to be written by him. I personally do not believe, because a person of philosophy will write a book on astrology. It's not falling into my logical sense. Even V.V. Raman, in his translation of this book, because I'm reviewing his translation only, though another book by some other author I have gone through, but Raman's translation is good. He has done it in 1944 actually, Bhagavad the first edition. Last was 10th edition 1992. So this is a very lucid book, I will say. So that's what it indicates. Its genesis. Like unlike Uttara Kalamrita, which is very fine-tuned book, Bhabvartha Ratnakara is a very lucid book. Uh, you will see the author is writing, if this planet is in this house, this yoga will be found. Very, very lucid book. Beginners can go through this book also. But whether it is written by the Ramanuja Acharya of 12th century AD, Ramanuja Acharya is 10th century 57 CE to 1177, if I remember correctly. So possibly it is written 12th century, that is beginning the 12th century, if done by Ramanuja Acharya. Even Raman has not mentioned about the author elaborately. Like Uttara Kalamrita, the author is not Kalidasa. Bhabvartha Ratnakara, the author is not expected to be Ramanuja Acharya also, because I have not personally, I have not found any writings or when going through philosophical books like Bhabvartha Ratnakara is written by him. Not even in e-search or internet you will find all these things. But however, let's not get into that. Bhabvartha Ratnakara by Ramanuja, whoever this Ramanuja may be. But let's come to the book. So this book, I told you, Uttara Kalamrita is for significations of planets. And I was also saying that Bhavas are also mentioned in Uttara Kalamrita, but Bhavat Ratnakar is better. The difference between Uttara Kalamrita and Bhavat Ratnakar is this. You will know the signification of houses in Uttara Kalamrita. The planetary placements on that or the predictive side is not, which is will get from Bhavat Ratnakar. So from significations of planets and house, please go through Uttara Kalamrita. The predictive side, you come here. Why I am taking these two side by side? First, these are two very small books. If somebody will try, he can finish within 1 year. Forget about applications and other things. If you start reading Uttara Kalamrita and Bhavat Ratnakara combinedly, you can finish both of them in 1 year time. I did it quite earlier, but you can do that pertaining to other situations. Like people have got familiar situations, other compulsions. So even if that, these two books can be completed within a year of time, unlike Growth Parasara or Rasastra. So now coming to Bhavat Ratnakara, it has got 14 chapters and 384, if I remember correctly, slokas. From the beginning of the book, the author is clearly explaining whatever the planetary positions for various lagnas, whatever the result they are going to yield. If Jupiter is Yogakaraka for this lagna, it placed in this house, whatever the result it will produce, if it is also forming any yogas like that. So predictive side, from the very beginning of this book, it is coming. If this is the planetary placements in this lagna, so you will get very, very small slokas of all the lagnas. I told you that is a very small book. Let me see, it is, yes, around 200 pages. So very small books, very lucidly written. Why this book is said to be or can be dated around 11th century? Because of its lucidness. Yes. In Raman's translation of this book, in the last chapter, in the chapter of Grahamalika Yoga, Raman is also stumped that how Panchamalika Yoga can be formed. But the sloka is saying if all the planets are posited from 1 to 5th or 1 to 5 houses, it will be Panchamalika Yoga. Logically not possible because Rahu and Ketu will form 1 to 7 axis. If you remove Rahu and Ketu, you will take only 7 planets. Then also it will known as Saptamalika Yoga. One planet in one house. That is what Malika. Or else any planetary combination should be Malika Yoga. I mean there is no other definition of this. Raman is also saying that the Pasa Yoga referred by Varahamira is different. While he is saying that is a lump sum of planets possible uh, under the 5 houses. But Panchamalika Yoga, Sashtamalika Yoga, Raman is clearly saying I cannot explain. So this is the lucidity of this book. Uh, with all due respect to the classics, I was also listening to the lecture of Guru K.N. Rao a few months back in a US lecture. So he was also marking out one mistake in Pharadipika on transit of moon over the natal chart, over the natal moon, which was wrong. I don't remember correctly, but which was wrong. So here, there I was saying, do not believe in classics blind. Do not blindly believe in classics. Similarly, Panchamalika, Sashtamalika are not possible. Shiva. But recent classics, if you say Uttara Kalamrita, are very, very scientific. But even Manasagari too. But these books, you will see Bhabvartha Ratnakara. So that is why a book is said to be written around uh, the 10th or 11th century. Because after Sarvartha Chintamani, even you go for Jataka Tattva, the very recent book which is said to be written around 1850 onward, 1871, uh, it came into light. So, very scientific. But here you will find that this focus only this Ramalika Yoga, there is some problem. Besides, it has got nothing very new or innovative or very strong derivations. It's a very small book, however. But for initial prediction, please refer to this. You are not able to read Bharat Parasara Varasastra, you are not able to read Saravali, please go through Bhavartha Ratnakara because it is very lucid. If you read only one chapter, you can finish it within half an hour and you can find some combinations for prediction of any house for any lagna. Various lagna, how will be the prediction? So, my recommendation will be, my recommendation will be, uh, please first go through Bhavartha Ratnakara before going to any heavy classics because you can easily finish it and you will have some insight on prediction. The other good thing I found is combination for death. Very, very lucid again. This is the combination, then person will die. Yes. So you are saying, sir, you are saying this is a lucid book, but why should you follow? The reason here is these are very, initial research. You don't compare with the books of current research. Second is for beginners. This is a very good book, and the necessity of Hindu astrology is you have to go through the classics. See, Raman has translated it and found what about the Panchamalika Yoga. If you are the Hindu astrology, or you can say Indian astrology also, because now in India, people from across religions they are coming to these astrologers. So, in this Hindu astrology or Indian astrology, classics are must. So, these are the classics which you can immediately finish. And I am not saying that predictive side is wrong. That is quite good also. That will give you very good bird's eye view of prediction. The things the book lack uh, is dasa system. In my speech, I must be honest saying that you might be finding extra S is coming. Sometime I say this S and other things. That is because of my frequent pronunciation of Shiva. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva is there. So now, if sometimes it's automatically S is coming to some extent, please pardon me for that. Please try to understand what I once see again once what I want to convey. So now CO is in my speech, so S is coming quite naturally. So Dasa system, only one chapter, again very small, not elaborated. However, in other places of this book, Ramanuja is saying Acharya is a title. A teacher in the Gurukula is known as Acharya. Now we are professor in some universities, lecture in colleges. Hmm. So Acharya. So Ramanuja, whether it is Ramanujan or Ramanuja of Visishta Dvaitya philosopher or the Ramanujan the mathematician, none of them. So this is the major reason why astrology was challenged earlier by mostly astronomers, because this book, the author is unknown, Kalidasa no. So Raman tried to write lot of books uh, on research, which was followed by K.N. Rao, and after that astrology was approved as a discipline. So anyway, so Dasa system is not elaborated. My recommendation is do not go for Dasa system. Yes, you have there are many Dasas, many applications, but that the basic is your Brihadarashtra process. Here, this is a book. Not even many innovations are there. If I look into the uh, Grahamalika Yoga, where fault is there, combinations of death is very illicit. Uh, no, basically the houses and their predictions. Various lagnas prediction how we will do, how we will do for the third house, fourth house, and it is mentioned third house for brothers, sixth house for friends and enemies. So all the houses and their prediction. You can take the Graha Phalana Adhya from Bhurat Parasara Varasatra. What is that? That is Bhavartha Ratnakar. With some little addition of yogas and other things. But it is a must read. If you read this book, you will give a very good bird's eye view on prediction. I would suggest you please go through Bhabvartha Ratnakara before Maharshi Parasara. I mean, you can go simultaneously, but Bhabvartha Ratnakara you can immediately finish. 384 stanzas, out of which this longevity, however, longevity is under the 8th house. Ramanuja is mentioning. Uh, and nothing more. Not more on yogas, not more on those dasas, only the house and their prediction. For significations of house, please refer to Uttarakhanda. For significations of house, please refer to Uttarakhanda, and then you come to Bhavata Ratnakara. Why I am saying this array of reading, I already told that these views are my personal. I followed this kind of things or not, no, because that time there was nobody to guide me. I personally consider Dr. Raman and Rao as my guru, like Ekalavya was considering the guru like Dronacharya. I learned astrology by the grace of Lord Mahadeva by my own only, by reading books, by reading magazines. And I even do not know how I am able to produce research papers so soon. Neither I belong to any astrological family. So there was nobody to guide me. I was in search of a good guru, but my bad luck. So I learned it primarily by myself. And now this is a time where also I am not in a quest for guru. If God is giving me, I am blessed. So that is why I am making these videos. I am saying how you must proceed. Do not start from Uttara Kalamrita. That is fine because that very advanced concepts are mentioned. That is very advanced. But you can start from Bhavartha Ratnakara. I am also saying the names of other classics so that you can understand. So this is Bhavartha Ratnakara, a very small and lucid classics of Hindu astrology. And the benefit is if somebody is scared of the heavy or thick books, then Bhavartha Ratnakara is the best book for him or her to browse. You can browse through heavy books, but you can read it. But you will not get many things new, however, here. Even if you read the magazines, of astrological magazines are there, you will not find very good citations of Bhabvartha Ratnakar. There are very prime line classics. I personally divide classics of the first line and classics of second line, like BPHAs, Paradipika, or if I follow the array, this BPHAs, I mean, Mars, Vrat Parasara Varasastra, your Burat Jataka, Saravali, Sarvartha Chintamani, and Paradipika, and finally is your Jataka Parijata. These are the classics which are must. Any article you find, you will find the reference of these books. Secondary article research are like Manasagari, Uttaraka, Amrita, Jataka Bharanam, and there are some classics which are very least used. Like there is another book known as Jyotisha Bharanam, which is in Hindi, also by Kalidasa. Very less people might be knowing it, but this book is also available online. Anyway, the idea here is to give you one holistic perspective on astrological reading. So Bhavartha Ratnakara is a very small book. From this book, you can leave these combinations for death, dasa system. Yes, you can leave it. No need to go for those things. They may not give you very accurate ideas. Then the Hamalika yogas. You would just read from the first to the 8 or 9 chapters. When this Lagna wise prediction is over, house wise prediction is over. Before this, if you can refer to Uttar Kalamrita's no, significations of house, it is better. So this is all about Bhavartha Ratnakara, a very basic book before prediction. Yes, I must say another thing. Whenever anybody is starting astrology, it is not recommended directly you go to classics because you will find it difficult. If you are doing it, it is very good. Directly, if you open Parasara and you start doing it, is very, very good. But immediately you may get confused. Like why in the Parasara is mentioning about your Parasara, Shiva, the Savatara of Vishnu, and the Kalki Avatar is following each planet. Why Parsurama was a fighter and also associated with Venus? Many questions will arise in your brain if you follow that classics. So first, I will recommend that you can go through books like Astrology for Beginners by Raman or Learn Hindu Astrology Easily by Ram. Okay, which was earlier known as Astrology Without Tears. That means you can so easily understand it. So Rao has nomenclatured it Astrology Without Tears. Now it is Learn Hindu Astrology Easily. It took me 2 months to know that the same book is renamed as this. So if you are starting from any book like Raman's book or Rao's book, you can also refer to Bhavartha Ratnakara at that time. It can be used as a very basic text. This is the only beauty I will say that Bhavartha Ratnakara has. But it has no other. I am not belittling any classics because that time, that era, this kind of book, these are founding book. If you remember, earlier the research papers like I remember L.S. Morgan. L.S. Morgan was some sociologist, anthropologist kind of things. He has written a research paper. Louis Henry Morgan, possibly, at 17th or 18th century, the research paper itself was 20 pages. Now you have got 2000 pages of PhD thesis because you have access. Those are the time when knowledge was getting built. So epistemological building or founding of knowledge. Suppose we have to write about the any new discipline. Any new discipline. Suppose we have to write about Pluto now. We have not reached there. We do not know what is the what is there in Pluto, what is not there in Pluto. Maybe after million years, uh, or even some millennia, we will get the accurate picture of Pluto. But now, if you start writing, there will be lucidity, which is evident. So I am not belittling the writing at that time. Rather, I am putting the writings of Bhavat Ratnakara, its relevance for nowadays, and how you should approach towards it. So I told you that reviews are my personal. However, book reviews should be done if you. I have also written one book review which is not astrological book. Another book I have written a book review on that. So that is a different thing. When you write it, what the content, what they say, very systematic. But I am saying here the book reviews, the main purpose is to avoid the readers, maybe a student, maybe just an astro enthusiast. Though I always say that please come to astrology in a full-time basis. If you also plan for that, then you come to astrology, not in amateur perspective. So idea is to make you aware how to proceed with these books. Uh, what are the contents you must follow, not follow, and how to proceed, when to proceed. Uh, those kind of things. That is my purpose, so that somebody will know about this classic and start reading it. Mind it, for consultational purposes, you don't need to read too much. If somebody is only expecting money out of the consultation in the astrology, no need to read too much. Only deal with 4 or 5 houses. I am saying this all for astrological research because what will become to astrology after 50 years if you not continue the research? Maybe people will think that yes, Panchamalika Yoga, if Brahman has not mentioned this, so people might have interpreting Panchamalika different ways. So astrological research must continue. I am not against consulting. Consulting is very good. I was also doing consulting to an uh, online portal where I was getting regularly 20 or 30 horoscopes regularly, and that was very good for my database. Then I left. So consultation is very necessary. I also do consultation here. But what I am saying here, it is for astrological research. And if you do this, astrological, Jyotisha is doing something for you. Jyotisha is giving you a livelihood. Jyotisha is giving you uh, image. Jyotisha is giving you the spiritual backdrop of it. Like if you become an astrologer, you cannot live like a normal man. So automatically, by default, you are getting into spiritual practice. Like I say, jnana and dhyana is necessary for any astrologer. So for astrological research only. Uh, somebody into astrological consultation only, this video is completely futile. So I am approaching the time. I told you two drawbacks. One is voice. I tried a lot, use some technology and others, but I'm not able to use them properly so that my voice is sometimes up and down. Second is S is coming in most of the words. That is because of frequent utterance of Shiva for last 10 years. S is now, my tongue is rolling in that fashion. I apologize for that in advance. Uh, and if you have any doubts or any suggestions, those who have gone through Bhabvartha very seriously, please write it in the comment box. If you want to listen from me, then also write it there. You are free to WhatsApp me. You can read my research papers from my website. Whether you like my videos or do not like it, absolutely it's up to you. Whether you subscribe the channel, it is up to you. But those are the mandates of YouTube. My request is please share it. Bhabvartha Ratnakara review, I am not getting on YouTube. Yes, people are referring to Bhabvartha Ratnakara and teaching you. That is fine. So we'll share it. If somebody has the interest, he can listen or she can listen. My videos are half an hour onwards, occasionally 15 to 20 minutes. If you are not serious about astrology, do not listen to me. Or do not open my video, you will find it boring. You can listen these videos like audios also, because I say in a very lecture mode. I say in a lecture mode, which is there is something known as this. So expansion will happen. So if you listen to ancillary things, expansion will happen. So information and knowledge. So I am focusing on knowledge side more. So let's find out for today. If Mahakala wants or Kala permits, that means if my destiny wants and my Dasa permits, I'll come up with another video soon. Take care then. God bless you all. Om Namah Shivaya.